So here in this example, I have a surface, three-dimensional surface that you'll see. And on this surface, you'll see that there's a white line and there's some little pieces of paper here. Before I did this scan, I laid out a tape measure, and at every 10 feet, I put a little piece of paper with a number on it. So the starting point is right here. So from here to this one is 10 feet. And then from the starting point to here is 20 feet. This has a 3 on it, so it's 30 feet, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 70 feet. And there is a rake here and a shovel. So how the scaling works is if I measure this right now, and I measure from my starting point, let's go to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, the 5 right here. I measure that. This says it's 15 feet, when really it should be 50 feet. I could use this shovel or this rake and say, oh, this rake is 6 feet, and scale this, and let's see how long it is right now. That's only 1 foot. I know for a fact that's longer than 1 foot. It's 5 or 6 feet long. So I need to scale this up, so when I measure things, I measure volumes, I measure tons, that I know that it's the right distances. So the distances that we measure need to match up with what the surface is in real life. And yeah, I have this tape measure, so we're going to use that to see how long it is. So before we begin, we need to draw a line and put some points on that line. So let's start right here. I have a layer over here called lines. I'm going to draw a new line. I'm going to start at the beginning of my tape measure, and I'm going to measure all the way to the 70 point mark, which is about right there. And I want to get this really accurate. And I could leave this here, but I just want to move it over here just so you can see really good. I'm just gonna do the move command, move it over there, and then I'm gonna look at this line. So you see right here, this line is 21.066 feet. And I have a little Excel file here, and I've made a simple little calculator here. This starting distance is right there, so I'm gonna punch it in, 21.066. And I want to scale this up so this line becomes 70 feet. So this factor is just simply the 70 feet divided by the 21 feet. And it gives me a factor of 3.32. So with these measurements, I have everything that I need to scale properly. So I'm gonna hold on to this, and we're gonna do something to this line. First, we're going to extend it so it becomes 70 feet long, and we're going to add in an extra little point right here at that factor, 3.22 feet. And that will give us everything that we need to make to do the scaling properly. So first, I'm going to come to modify, polylines, extend, adjust to length. And then simply, I'm just going to type in 70 feet for my length. I'm going to extend from the end point. This, you can see this is the starting point. That's the end point. And then I want to preserve points. That means that I want this point to stay there, right here. So make sure you have this selected. And okay, I'm going to come over here and show the nodes. And then I can see, okay, here's my starting point. It's the biggest one. And then I have this one at the 21 feet. And then this one is at the 70 feet. And then you come over here and look, length 70. Now we need one more point in here. We need this 3.322. And we're going to just go from here and add in a point at this distance right there. I'm going to copy that, just a Control C, because I'm going to be using that here shortly. So come to modify, polylines, points, insert at spacing right here. Selected entities, okay, equal distance. I'm going to paste in the 3.322, and then I'm going to make sure I have a limit to 1, and that's it. So hit OK, and you'll see another point show up right here. So now we have all the measurements that we need on this line. We have our factor from here to here. We have 21 feet from here to here, and then we have 70 feet from here to here. Now let's begin by selecting our surface, and we'll go to Modify, Scale, Scale Interactive. Now down here it says select the base point. We're going to pick our first point right here as the base, and then it says Scale Factor, and that's where we're going to put in our 3.322. I'm going to click on there, and there, it looks like it made it a lot bigger. So now let's do a test. Oh, my surface disappeared. Where did it go? If yours does this where it disappears when you zoom in and out, all you need to do is come up to this View Regen right here. This regen will refresh your viewing window, and it won't disappear. It'll fix the problem. So if you have that problem, View Regen. Now, let's test it and make sure it worked. I'm going to change that real quick. Starting point right there. And let's go to 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go to 5. This should be 50 feet now. There you go, 50.080. That is close enough for what I'm doing. So if you have a surface and you have some sort of reference point where you know the distance, you can do that, scale interactive, figure out what your scale factor is, and make it. Now let's see how long our rake is. 5.3, that's pretty accurate right there. Okay, I'm going to hit this undo button so we can do the other scaling. So I'm going to hit undo. There we go. And it's back to how it originally was. And now let's select it again. Modify, Scale, Scale Variable. Now, here is your base point. Where do you want that base point to be? You could pick a certain point on here. For me, I don't really care. I'm just going to go from the center and expand it out. If you want to do it from a certain base point and expand it out there, you could. But yeah, I'm just going to do from the center of the X and the Y and the Z. The important part here is that I take my scale factor and I put it in all of the X, Y's, and Z. So these are all the same. And because I don't want it to skew one way or another, I want them all to expand at the same factor. So hit OK on that, makes it bigger, and let's test it. Oh, see, it disappeared again, so let's go back to View Regen. There it goes, and we're going to do a distance test again. Let's go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go to 60 feet and see how close that one is. 60.1. There we go. Now I'm going to hit the undo button. Now there's one last one, my favorite. Modify, Scale, by selected points right here. Now on this, if you have somewhere and you say from here to here, you can put in a number. So I'm going to show you a couple ways to do this. So it asks for 4 points. The first 2 points are going to be the original length, which is the 20. So we'll just do a start point and end point, and then it's going to ask you for 2 more points, and it's going to be the start and the end where you want it to go. So you can click right here for your start point and just follow these command prompts down here. This is your second point, and then on it says select point 1 in the new location, select point 2 in the new location. Make sure this scale factor lines up with our spreadsheet here, 3.322. Looks like it's lining up just great. Hit OK. There you go. and scaled it up. If I just check a quick distance on here, check that distance, and we're at 50 feet. So that worked. So now let's do the scale by points, my favorite method. So if you come up to here, modify, scale, scale by selected points, and it's gonna ask for 4 points. I'm gonna zoom out for a second. If you look down here, it gives you a prompt, select point 1 in original location. So we are going to pick this point right here, and then the second point is going to be that point right here. That is about 21 feet, and then it's going to ask you 2 more points right here and right here. So first, you pick your first 2 points, the original length, and then you pick your next 2 points, which is the desired end length. So first point, second point, third point, fourth point. And now all you need to do is check this scale factor, 3.32, 3.32. It looks good. So we're gonna hit OK. There you go, scales it up. Now let's check the distance from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there, 50 feet, right on. And let's see how long our rake is. So from here to the end is 5.3 feet. So that is the scale command. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned something new today in Deswik. But before we go, we got one more test. We're gonna make sure that we scaled our surface properly. To do that, I have the rake. This is the same rake, the exact same rake that was in our surface that we could see. And we're gonna measure it and make sure, I have a tape measure right here. We're gonna measure it and make sure that it's the right distance. Right here. Make sure I get that. It is 5 feet 4 inches. 5 feet 4 inches, and when we were scaling that, it was 5.3 feet, which is approximately 5 feet 3.5 inches. So the rake is actually a half an inch longer than what we measured it, which is pretty close. We're half an inch on. So I hope you can, if you have something to scale within Deswik, that these tools will help you out and make sure you get the right scale in there. So when you measure your tons and you measure your volumes, that they come out correct. Thanks for watching.